I recognize the honourable member for Halifax Citadel, Sable Island.
Madam Speaker, across the province, local communities are struggling to keep emergency response volunteer groups operational. One Cape Breton Fire Department has decided to close its doors for good, and I'll table that. And another fire chief in the Western Zone has warned that without greater support from this government, they're going to see the department start to shrink and disappear, and I'll table that as well. Search and rescue groups are facing similar struggles and fear that this government's creation of a new volunteer force will further decrease their numbers. I'll table that. What is this government doing to ensure emergency response volunteer organizations are well staffed, well supported, and there for us when we need them?
I recognize the Honourable Minister for Municipal Affairs and Housing.
So, Madam Speaker, we've made unprecedented investments in search and rescue and fire services across the province the last 2 years and a year with a $10,000 per fire, per department, per organization fund. We've been very committed to supporting these organizations as a government. One of the outcomes and one of the lessons learned from the incredible number of emergency events that we've had in the past year and a half is that when the event happens, Nova Scotians step up and want to volunteer, but managing those volunteers in that event is a challenge. So stepping up the Nova Scotia Guard, standing up, that will enable us to do that, but it is in no way meant to take away from the incredible work that search and rescue and firefighters do for us.
I recognize the honourable member for Halifax Citadel, Sable Island.
Madam Speaker, we all know that with the extreme weather events in recent years, we have relied heavily on our emergency response organizations. They were there for us every step of the way through hurricanes, floods, and wildfires. That is why Paul Service from Halifax Search and Rescue was surprised that this government made this announcement without consulting existing emergency response volunteer organizations. And I'll table that. Can the minister please explain why this government decided to create a new volunteer force without consulting the emergency organizations we have relied on for so long?
The Honourable Minister for Municipal Affairs and Housing.
So, Madam Speaker, what I can say is when we were faced with challenges, what we brought in resources from other provinces like Team Rubicon, and when we looked at, well, what does Team Rubicon cost and what does it offer, which is a great thing, no discredit to them. The question is, can we build that internally or something similar to that? So there always was extra resources coming in. This is part of the national model, which we're part of. We share resources with other provinces. They share resources with us. But we know that we have people who will volunteer, will step up, have resources, can provide help, which is not the same as firefighting and search and rescue, which is we really respect our volunteers and our career people in those fields. But we recognize that this is something that we can do.